believe in children. We believe in youth. We believe in you. Don't disappoint us. As youth people that has in front of you many things to accomplish, I will invite you to consider that the only way to change our work is to change our mind, our mindset in. And that starts by shifting our paradigm. And I'm proposing for you to consider that that new paradigm should be based in cooperation, but a cooperation that treats everyone as equal human being. My main message to you today is, since you are here and you are looking at the United Nations in front of you, just don't be just observers. Be active participants. That's the key message.
Children all around the world, they want to be treated with respect and dignity. They want to belong to a world that has hope for its future. They want to be consulted, and they want to be taken seriously, like we take your voices very seriously. We can no longer ignore our children's fears. Indifference is betrayal.
Education is crucial in building strong individuals, but at the same time, strong societies in our global world. As Peace Islands Institute, we strongly believe in education as an answer to the challenges of the world's children. We believe that youth has the potential to make difference through positive activism, dedication, and courage in our global world. Governments could do so much, of course, and the United Nations could have mandates on member states and in the implementation of these things. But I think what is most important, that you as our global leaders, our future global leaders, we have to work hard and we have to build a better world for all of us.
So to create peaceful, prosperous, and positive change involves 5 stages for people of all ages: awareness, recognition, acceptance, transition, and finally, transformation. So when we seek to develop change in the dynamics of leadership, please remember these 5 steps and put them to your test with care, compassion, patience, diligence, perseverance, and much more.
And if we begin to teach them and teach them peace within their homes, that could be a change. But we have to teach the parents, we have to teach the caregivers that this is important, very important. Because if you stop violence in the home, I believe, it could be wrong, but if you stop violence in the home, there's a possibility that child will not be committing violent acts outside of the home. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter.
The question once again is, what do you stand for? Or what I stand for is the children that cannot have access to clean water, the children that cannot have a proper sanitation. That's something I stand for. So my fellow young leaders, if you feel the same passion that I do today, if you feel the same urgency that I do today, and I guess if we do what we must do today, I have no doubts in my mind we can impact the world.
We come together with Jewish teens and Muslim teams, and we try to put aside our differences and find similarities. We see them as enemies, and we want to show people that that's not true, that we can actually be friends and that we can make a difference rather than go into wars.
We went to a place called Masbia's Soup Kitchen in Brooklyn, and we peeled all of those carrots. It puts aside the differences. It's about helping to make something actually happen, because when you're both working together for a common cause, it really doesn't matter who's from where. You're just getting things done.
In Haiti, we visited orphanages and schools. We realized that coming to Haiti was in our fate because we needed a wake-up call, and it was a good wake-up call for us. When I saw the inside of schools for the first time, I actually understood how selfish I was, and then I swore on myself that I would never complain about my education and the conditions I got.
It's sad because we have everything we want. We even complain about school. We don't want to go to school, but they don't have that chance to go to school. They die at orphanages. Instead of wasting money for like small things, we can just like give $2 each and like do something for that, because $2 is like their 2 days of food. we should do whatever we can.
We've been trying to promote the prosperity and peace and connection between all of the nations, cooperation between all of us. I've been working with people from all over the world, and I've noticed how much I get to learn from people from Congo, from people from anywhere that I have never had a chance to talk to. I never knew anything about. And once I started learning about that and understanding their background, it was easier to work with them and meet new people and expand that like closed bubble that I had before about just one culture and one history. And it's a wonderful feeling, actually. Then I hope everybody here can do that with me here.
It's something in your mind. If you believe you can do something, you always can make it. And I think it's very important to have right people who guide you and help you. And so just try to meet like as more people as you can and have your kind of mentors who can guide you and help you.
When I came to America, I was kind of stuck in a crossroad. You know, I had my friends telling me to do one thing, and then my parents telling me to do something else. You know, and my parents weren't informed about the American culture because they were immigrants, so it made it very hard for me to kind of just fit in. So I say, you know, we try to mobilize the youth, try to give them projects to work on that kind of relates, that let them know that they don't just have to choose between their heritage and the American value. You know, these things can overlap, and you can love baseball, you can love apple pie, and you can also love cricket or curry.
My brother hates going to Bosnia, I'll admit that, because he's younger than I am. He's 18, but he's Americanized, very, very Americanized. Just wants to stay home, wants to play video games, and that really doesn't exist over there. Now, his first time going over there wasn't to see family. It was to go out and do something for the good. One of his favorite moments, hands down, he told me, was collecting money and buying a cow for a family. Now, we think, you know, a cow's a cow, but a cow goes a long way. They can sell the milk from the cow, they can feed their families, they can feed their neighbors. Volunteering and being altruistic definitely helps out the community, as well as shapes the mind of our youth. And I feel that, as a young adult myself, pushing kids to do more volunteers, like to become more volunteeristic and more altruistic, can shape what we want today, as opposed to what we are now.
I wanted to find a way to give back, to volunteer, and FEBA was a great kind of organization that helped me with that. It kind of brought me out of my selfishness and actually to help and think about others. FEBA has given me an opportunity to hang out with youth more, and it's been giving me an opportunity to actually like come together with other people who think like me too, and we kind of work together to kind of do like more than just kind of thinking of ourselves, but thinking of finding ways to give back.
After realizing that the Uyghur people are a threatened people by the Communist Chinese Party because they want to assimilate us into a Han Chinese identity and make disappear our traditional ways, a feeling of responsibility grew in me. It told me that I have to be as Uyghur as I can be abroad. Finally, I was able to chat with a 20-year-old. He said he doesn't go to school, he doesn't have a job. And I tried to ask him about political situations, the cultural repressions, you know, in where we live. And when I asked that, he said, how can I answer you when I'm deaf, mute, and blind? And followed by that, he said, you, the Uyghur youth abroad, are the hope for us. You are the only ones that can share our story, be our voice. And that hit my conscience, and it told my conscience, and I had the feeling I was obligated to, you know, advocate for my people. And also to answer Abby's question, what do you stand for? I stand for my people, and I stand for freedom and justice for my people.
In 2011, we had it was declared that 50% of Azerbaijan has an access to internet. But what really bothered me about this was because only 17% of women has an access to internet, where 30% of men has access to internet. That really bothered me because I feel like using internet is a big empowerment. You put your ideas out there, you reflect on other people's ideas, and I feel like if women are barred from doing this, they're not really empowered. they're really they're behind on this. They're not part of this global village. They're behind. Education means less early marriages for women. Education means that we restore that self-confidence in women. The more educated women are, the more active they are in social media, in the global village we call. And I really think we should continue to push for education for women.
Art is a powerful medium, and we want to use that to educate people about violence towards children and the exploitation of children. You can have, survivors of different, crimes or survivors of genocide speak out, and speaking out is very powerful, but seeing somebody do a piece of artwork or doing a play in a theater and drawing a picture are also very powerful mediums.
There are a lot of immigrants who come to this country, and because of the media, because of the way they're treated, they feel that their culture, their beliefs, their self-esteem has been diminished, and then they act upon it. But if you want to make a change, you can speak forward. Have them believe in themselves. This way they have the power, the zeal to go back home and make their people believe that, hey, you have the voice to make a change. And these calamities you're seeing, the government is not stable, but you have the power to make a change.
In my country, like Bangladesh, not only Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, children cannot go to school. They have to work to support their family. So I'm glad that I came here. I can be anything what I want.
I took this problem to my mom, and she currently worked for UNICEF at that time, but she didn't really hold much of a higher position. So I asked her, like, what can I do? Because he was a really good friend of mine, and there's no reason a 7-year-old should be having to support a family. And so I just think that, and then my mom, what she did, she had an employee who worked with her, and she asked if he can hire the kid's mom as their maid, because that kid needed all the assistance he could get, and so that person did. And I just think that if you just get a little bit of help from somebody and just get assistance, and now that kid did not have to work and fix that guy's rickshaw anymore. He actually went back to school.
We all have a voice. We have to speak out. You remind me when I was in a refugee camp. I was little. I was a teenager. Was before they killed my mother. They killed my mother in a refugee camp. So I remember receiving food, biscuit, clothes from World Vision. So people, you said that children don't care. Yes, I didn't care where the food was coming from or the clothes were coming from, but I was happy to receive the shoes, the food, clothes from strangers. The people I even never meet. I wonder all the time to meet a CEO of World Vision just to say thank you because they gave me biscuit.
Like if you walk on a road, if you see a person who is starving, buy a biscuit or buy anything and give it to him. That's how you can help.
Even though we came from different backgrounds, countries, we have different expectations and probably different dreams. But we just need to realize the following. At the very end, we just come up to these two simple ideas. First, we can do something, even though smaller, medium, larger, or the biggest thing, but we can do something. That's the first thing that is important to recognize and acknowledge. But the second important thing, I guess, is that even though there are different backgrounds, as I said, we all are just one humanity. So this is a very important message, because coming to the United Nations, we need to have that in mind and that in our heart, because that will lead our political decisions, our legal frameworks, but also our heart and our mind will be connected with the needs of people.